teaching kids how to eat healthy, how to be nutritious, and how to take care of themselves, or being too strict? What's the difference between not letting a kid be a kid and eat what they want, or just teaching them healthy habits and keeping them on somewhat of a plan so that things don't get out of hand too early? All right. So we're going to talk about nutrition today. That is the question I pose for all of you that's watching. So if you're in the comments, please put your opinion in the comments. When is it being too strict? And when are we letting kids just be too loose with the nutrition? So I had a guy write in, his name is Chris. He emailed me at coachmark22@gmail.com. That's coachmark with a C, 22@gmail.com. And it goes as follows. He has a 9-year-old and 11-year-old, right? And he's currently separated and divorced from his wife. So the kids go with the wife half the week. So when the kids are with him, he cooks breakfast every morning. It's proteins, it's carbs from whole foods, it's water for the main drink, right? They're eating fruits, they're eating vegetables. This is on a regular basis. They also eat healthy dinners, healthy lunches, and occasionally he will allow them to snack, but he hasn't been doing it lately because he's been trying to teach them how to make this a regular thing and not just something you do every once in a while if you're trying to get better at something, right? So it's healthy eating. He doesn't buy the snacks, the candies, the sodas at his house, so they don't have availability, right, when they're with him, and they seem to be okay. Problem is when they go with mom, it's the opposite. It's pizza. They're eating out. They're getting takeout. They got candy over there. They got snacks. She believes that they should be able to be kids while they're kids. They have their whole adult life to eat healthy and be healthy. They should be able to be kids and relax now. So when they come back, a lot of times they're asking dad, oh, can we have the chips? Can we have the soda like we do at mom's house? Can we have the desserts? So he's battling now, not only with his kids, because he's trying to let them know this is the way you should eat, not the other way, but without badgering mom, right? We don't want to talk bad about mom, but mom's doing things in a way that he doesn't see fit. So also, when he's asking mom about this, mom is going against the grain a bit. She's saying, you're going to make it too strict on them. They're not going to want to eat healthy. They're not trying to lose weight. Why are you trying to do this to them? Now, side note, over the last year, he had to retrain his mindset around food and nutrition. So he didn't always eat like this. But he realized the damage that it did to him in his adult life. And so he doesn't want his kids to ever go through that. He wants them to know how to eat, what to eat, when to eat it, and actually have that be their default, right? Have them go to healthy whole foods all the time instead of just when they want to make a change, okay? So he's basically being put in a tough position right now because he's trying to figure out, should he teach his kids healthy eating habits, or should he loosen up and let the kids be kids? And he also doesn't want to always be bickering with his ex-wife. So he's just trying to figure out to come. All right. So we're going to get to that today. So this is Lunchtime Logic. I am your guy, Coach Mark. You can email me at coachmark22@gmail.com if you have a submission, much like my man Chris, right? So today, guys, I have a half a cup of peas, half a cup of black beans. I have 5 ounces of ground turkey and a 5-ounce piece of swordfish fillet. All right. Now, the reason why we call it Lunchtime Logic and the reason why I show you guys my food is because nutrition is 70% of this transformation battle that you're in. Right. Not only that, it's 70% of the healthy lifestyle that you're looking for moving forward. So we're always going to talk about food a little bit. And you also have to realize that us in the fitness space, we do eat, and we do eat a lot. Most of the time, we consume the same amount of calories as you do. You just don't know it because you're looking at our pictures, you're looking at our videos, and it looks like we starve ourselves, right, to get that physique. But that's not what's going on. So I like you guys to see me eating so that you know that I am one who eats a lot. And like I said, most of the people you guys follow, they eat very often. They just eat very healthy foods, guys. That's just what it is, right? But the point is for you to be at lunch, for me to be at lunch, for us to enjoy a meal together and talk about some ways that we can transform in a healthy fashion. All right. So that's what we're doing today. Now, for my man, Chris. Chris has a dilemma on his hands. Let's start from the very, very top. Chris got himself together over the last year. And if any of you have gone through a transformation, which I'm guessing a lot of you have, or you started, even if you've only been in it for 2 months, you quickly start to realize all the damage that you did the years before. Man, when you hit 35, when you hit 40, 45, 50, and you realize that you've been unhappy for 20 years, 10 years, 5, and you can change it that quick, it sets off an alarm, because you're like, man, what if I never would have gotten that way? What if I'd have never let myself drink sodas each and every day? What if I would have never allowed myself to eat out 2 and 3 times a day? How much better would my life have been? Because guys, the one thing I can assure you is that when your nutrition takes a turn towards healthy, whole food sources, your life changes. Your life changes, okay? And that's just from the nutrition, that's just from nutrition science. Your life changes. So Chris has just gone through this for a year. So that's 365 days. That's 3 to 4 meals a day. That's 1,000 meals. That's 1,200 meals. That's 1,300 meals. So he's made these correct choices so many times now, and he's seen the difference. And man, any parent who cares about their children want to see their kids live the best lives possible, right? That's why we buy them what we buy them. That's why we send them to the schools we send them to. That's why we buy the big houses, right? All the sneakers, because we want them to live a fruitful life. So when it comes to the discovery period that he's going through over the last year, he's thinking, I want my kids to enjoy life the way I'm enjoying life. There's nothing wrong with that. So let's start out by that. Chris, you should always want your kids to do better than what you did. If your kids are not living a better life than what you lived, then you are doing the wrong, then something's wrong, okay? So you should want them to live a better life than what you've lived. And if they're not as healthy as you, then they're not living a better life than you. I don't know many people that are living better lives than you that are super unhealthy, and if you're healthy, right? So your plan is, I'm going to show them better than I can tell them. So because Chris had to revamp what he eats, how he operates, right? What foods he stocks his cabinet with. He doesn't have the snacks, the sodas, the desserts, the cookies, the candies. He doesn't have all of that available in his kitchen. Which is my advice to most of you going through this process. If you don't have it available, it lessens the chance that you're going to consume it, right? It's pretty hard for you to eat cupcakes when there's no cupcakes, no matter how much you want them. If they're not there, you can't eat them, right? So he had already designed his kitchen to be a place that he can only find foods with nutritional value, nutrient-dense foods, right? So obviously he started making things for his kids that they would enjoy, but also fall within the parameters of what he has in his kitchen, right? And it's been working. And one thing I can tell you, bro, you're not going to find a 9-year-old kid who's as picky as a 39-year-old. They haven't been on the earth long enough, bro. They don't care what they eat as much. When I hear parents talking about, oh, my kids don't like that. My kids don't like when I make that. My kids need me to make this. No, you're giving them too many choices. And you're giving them too many options to like or dislike something. Most of us grew up in a time where you ate what your mother cooked. You ate what your grandmother cooked. You didn't have a bunch of choices. Kids' taste buds are not that developed yet where they're so against eating fresh fruit versus candy and desserts. It's not that yet, right? Now, some of them we could say they've had heavy sugar consumption over the first couple years of their lives. I will admit that. And that will cause somewhat of a light dependency. Light, right? But most of it is based on want. It's not that serious because a lot of you didn't think you could ditch sugar. And here we are. So things go well when they're with him. He's eating well, and Chris, I commend you with that. Man, yo, guys, if we know something's good for us, why wouldn't we have our children do it? If we know things are bad for us, why would we have our kids consume it? Now, guys, I did it. There were times I was taking my son to McDonald's, but it wasn't good for me on my plan, so I didn't eat it. But I wanted him to what? Enjoy being a kid. So I didn't keep that from him. But looking back on it, I should have more often. I should have. Because it didn't serve him any. Yeah, it gave him enjoyment for about 10 to 15 minutes. And guys, by the time your kid's 12, they're inhaling the food. They're inhaling it. It's not on the plate long enough to enjoy it. It's inhaled. Okay? The satisfaction that my kid was getting for 10 minutes in the fast food drive-thru, bro. A lot of times we were in the drive-thru longer than it took him to eat it. By the time we got home, it was over. So that's note number one, Chris. I think you're doing a great job with realizing what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If it's good for you, it's good for your kids. If it's not good for you, it's not good for your kids. Okay? All right. Now, they go to mom's. And they go to mom's for half the week. And a couple things stuck out, Chris, when you talked about mom being in favor of them eating a certain way. And one thing that we find with couples who separate is one of them elevates, one of them doesn't. And so we normally have a difference of opinion on many, many, many subjects because one person has chosen to elevate themselves and the other person has chosen not to, right? But at some point, you guys were on the same level. So I would imagine, just like you said, you just got right about a year ago. So you guys used to eat the desserts together. You guys used to drink the sodas together. You guys used to have the fat nights where you would go get a sandwich from one place, go get fries and sides from another place, then go get dessert from another place. I've been there, brother. Oh man, that's a hell of a little run, right? Nice summer night. Oh, hell yeah, right? So you were with her when she was doing these things, so you were also involved, right? So, Chris, let's be clear. She's been this type of woman. She didn't just turn into this type of woman. She's been that. And although change would be great for her, change would be great. I agree with you. When's the last time you saw her stick to a healthy meal plan? Was it in the last year? Was it a month ago? I would imagine it hasn't been in the last 5 years. So can we expect for her to get on this whole food gravy train? Huh? Can we really expect her to? And the reason why I'm bringing that up, Chris, is because we have to realize that people are who they are. Most of the time, people don't change. Most of the time. Us in the health and fitness world, we see people change all the time. If you watch health and fitness videos all the time, you see people change all the time. If you just went through a transformation, you saw yourself change, you're around people at the gym that change, that's what your world is. But that's not the masses, bro. That's like 10%. 90% of people never change from who they are. And bro, I would imagine that's half the reason why you guys aren't together. On different subjects, right? She won't change. So let's just be clear that, bro, she's probably not going to change. I'm going to just be honest with you, bro. She's probably not going to change. She's not going to change her view on eating healthy. She's never going to realize how important it is. And honestly, it's going to be worse the older she gets. So let's be clear on that. But one thing I like to do, man, I love to use numbers to bring people to a realistic view of life, right? When your kid's 9, you got 9 more years that he's going to be with mom. Most likely at the age of 18, military, starting a business, getting into the workforce, moving outside by herself, going to college. That's what happens. So we're talking 9 years, bro. It's not forever. And the reason why I say that, bro, is because when my 20-year-old was 9 years old, I was in the mindset of like, oh, it has to get done now because it will never get done. And what I've had to learn is that, yes, do you request? Yes. Do you put your foot on the gas when he's with you? Yes. But it's not going to last forever. This struggle will not last forever, okay? And hopefully that can give you some ease and understand that if it gets no better than it does today, it's not gonna last forever, brother. I promise you that. And because they're young, the hole that ex-wife might have dug by allowing them to eat whatever they want can only become but so big, okay? Now, what can you do? Because they're going over here eating chips, they're eating candy. Bro, not only does she love her children, let's be clear, she gave birth to them. She loves her children, so she wants to see them happy. See, what we have to realize as fathers is the main reason why women do what they do is to make the kids feel safe and happy. Safety and happiness are their two main objectives with their children. So because of that, they might give them something that could later damage them to see them what? Happy. They buy them new video games. They buy them too many pairs of sneakers. They let them skip school, right? And we're like, why would you allow them to do that? Oh, because I want them to be happy. We parent our children differently as men. Because yes, we want them to be safe as well. But we want them to be productive adults. So we're always thinking about what they're going to be in 5-10 years. And we don't care if they're a little unhappy right now, because we realize that we're unhappy sometimes right now to achieve a greater goal, okay? But to think that her mind frame towards parenting is ever going to be like yours, buddy, you are wrong. You are wrong. It's not going to be like yours. And furthermore, I would venture to say that if you continue on your healthy journey, you're going to become more of who you are, and your views are going to change even more drastically, and you guys are going to become even more separate, because she's going to continue being unhealthy. That's what she's going to do. And our food alters how we think. Trust and believe that. So as she's trying to make them happy, there's also another factor. They're with you for 3 or 4 days. So when they come back to mom hasn't seen her kids in 3 or 4 days. So now, let's make them happy by taking them to McDonald's. Let's make them happy by getting pizza. Oh, mommy's going to get pizza when you guys come back home, right? And again, a lot of it is just providing fun. She just wants to see a smile on their face. She's not looking at it like I'm trying to damage them, okay? But there is this factor, because Chris, I can almost bet what you're going to say to me. Nah, Mark, whatever I do, she tries to counter it. She does the exact opposite. Absolutely. Because let's be clear about something, bro. When they're separate households, it is very important for some parents to be liked. Liked. And what we see with a lot of mothers is that they want their kids to like them and love them. With fathers, we want the kids to respect us. Mom wants them to like and love. Dad wants them to respect. Both can be accomplished, and both are very important. Both are very important. But you don't care if they like or love you. Kinda, right? You can deal with them, being a little bit whatever with dad. It happens, right? All day long. She doesn't want that. So there could be a couple little reasons why she's going against the grain when they come back over. Now, obviously, Chris, I'm with you. The problem then starts to exist because she's allowing them to eat what they want. They probably eat when they want. They're probably allowed to eat in their bedrooms over there. They're probably allowed to eat late at night over there. They're probably allowed to eat half a bag of chips and just leave it on the table over there. Oh, yeah. It's a good chance, brother, the rules are not like the rules at your house. Because, again, you're trying to prepare them for adulthood. She's looking at how they can be happy right now. Okay? And, again, if you guys were together, that would be a great combination. That would be a great combination, bro. Let's be clear. It's when we're separate that it starts to cause an issue. Okay? So I'm all for what women want to do with their children. It's just that normally it's a little bit opposite of what dad wants to do, and when they're in separate households, now we have the conflict. So, bro, understand that it's half of the week, and it won't last forever. We're talking about a decade, not even a decade, that you have to deal with this, right? And the decade will come and go. Look at it like this, bro. If you ate bad for 3 days, and then you ate well for 4, and you worked out and exercised during that 4 days that you ate well, and then you took 3 days off and you ate pretty bad, you would probably sustain, right? You know how people say, man, I haven't made any progress, Mark. It seems like for the last year I haven't made any progress. And I talk to them and it's like, yeah, my Monday through Thursday is amazing. My Friday through Sunday sucks. But they don't gain body fat, and they don't lose any. They don't gain a bunch of muscle, but they don't lose any. Worst thing that can happen to your kids throughout the bulk of this time, bro, is that they stayed the same. And that's not a horrible thing, because if they ate the way their mom wants them to eat at your house as well, they would get worse. They would. So let's realize that it's not going to last forever, and that 50% of the time is better than 0% of the time, or 100% of the time, right? So continue to have peace in your heart and your mind, just knowing it can only get but so bad over there, okay? Now, a lot of people are going to be in the comments and say, you should talk to her, bro. Did you ever voice your opinion with this situation? Communication is great. And it would be great if co-parents were always receptive to what the other parent wants. Most of the time, that's not the case. I'd say 8 out of 10 times, bro, that's not the case. Because if it was the case, you wouldn't be in a situation right now. You wouldn't have to talk to her. Why would you have written in? So she obviously does not want to cooperate with your plan for your children. Because again, the plan, when they come to her and she says, oh, what did you guys eat at your dad's? He have you eating celery and salads again? Did he say you couldn't have candy again? Oh yeah, we're not allowed to drink soda at my dad's. So she looks at that as you're making them unhappy. So she's not going to agree with any plan that causes them to be unhappy. Okay? And oddly enough, bro, this is going to be the issue with you guys moving forward. It could be with sports, it could be with working out, it could be with how they keep their rooms, it could be with how they spend their money when they start getting allowance. Everything's going to be about her keeping them happy and you trying to make them become productive. And again, I think both are important. But when they're in separate households, now it becomes conflicting ideas. And then it's hard for the kids to figure out which one makes more sense. They're not old enough to realize when they're doing damage to themselves. They just want to feel good. Okay? So, yes. Should you communicate with her? Yes. Is it going to work? Probably not. Probably not, bro. Let me be honest with you. Probably not. But I will tell you that I would sit down with them and I would talk to them about what daddy was going through 5 years ago. See, this is the thing. You think they were there, so they know. And they were there. But 5 years ago, bro, they were 4 and 6. They didn't know what your body fat percentage was. They didn't realize that you sitting on the couch eating out of a cereal box all night till you finish the box and you might have had a beer or some soda. They didn't see that as weird because they also eat cereal. They didn't see anything. They didn't see you sleeping late. All the things that you did, bro, they didn't see it as wrong. So you have to explain to them what you think they know. Hey guys, do you know that I used to have trouble sleeping? Hey guys, do you know I used to get out of breath walking up steps? Did you know I couldn't run a mile? Did you know I had back pain? Did you know my mood was really, really bad because of the food that I was consuming? I had high blood sugar, high blood pressure. I didn't like what I looked like in the mirror, right? So when you sit down and explain that to them, and then explain to them how you got to where you are now, then it starts making sense. Oh, my dad wants us to be better like he got better, right? Now it at least makes sense. And at 9 and 11, bro, they're intelligent enough to understand the difference. Oh, my dad just wants us to be healthy. Now, I'm not telling you that they're not still going to eat the candy and the cakes and the... But they already know their mom's doing it because they like it. They may not really understand why you're doing what you're doing. But you just have to allow them to see what type of transformation you went through. Whether you got to show them pictures, bro. You got pictures in your phone. Show them pictures. Tell them stories, man. Tell them how you felt sometimes. Tell them how you didn't sleep well. Tell them how you felt down about yourself. You got to be transparent. And then when you explain to them how eating whole foods and tracking your nutrition and drinking a lot of water and eating your fruit helped you become how you are now. Because then when they come back to your house after being at mom's, they realize, oh, it's going to be different for these 4 days. And bro, also you can teach them that that's a reward and it's not a punishment, right? Now it's hard because you only have them the half a week. So it's hard to let them have a free day or I get it, right? You don't want to, but I think having some time carved out to just go get ice cream. Having some time carved out, hey guys, the night before you guys go to mom's, we're going to have pizza, right? But I need you guys to stay on this plan throughout the week to earn the pizza, right? And that teaches them that you can have the pizza, but the pizza has to be somewhat of a, you don't want to call it a cheat, but somewhat out of the norm, right? You don't want to make that the norm, okay? If you're going to do it, it needs to be abnormal, right? Something outside of your meal plan. So I wouldn't use the words diet or losing weight or whatever. It's just being healthier and happier. Healthier and happier. Maybe, hey, maybe, bro, you scroll through social media and you find some people that made transformations and say, I'm telling you guys, this person was eating bad and not exercising. They ended up like that. They changed what they ate and look how happy they are. Look how much different they look. They look like a whole new person. So we got to be more transparent with the kids, bro. Help them understand why we're doing what we're doing. But you're not being too strict. You're allowing them to be a kid. You're teaching them how to be a healthy kid. And bro, we want the healthiest kids possible. Every one of us in this room right now wants our kids to be the healthiest kids possible. So that means they have to have restrictions, bro. You wouldn't let them leave the house at 12 at night. Why? Because it's dangerous. You wouldn't allow them to skip school every day. Why? Because they wouldn't get an education and grow mentally. You know, same thing goes for their healthy habits, bro. You're not doing anything wrong. And also this, brother, what we're not going to do is answer to people who don't live healthy lifestyles. What I won't allow anyone to do is be unhealthier than me, like visibly unhealthy, but then tell me what I'm doing wrong. No, sir. You're not going to criticize me and you can't even put a healthy plate together. You don't count your macros. You don't have a bedtime. You don't wake up early and sweat for 30 minutes before you get ready for work. You don't fast from time to time. That person may be able to give me a lot of advice on a lot of things, but my healthy lifestyle is not going to be one of them. So that goes for your ex-wife too. So my question to my parents is, if you feel like you've been being too strict or too loose, how are you going to change things? After hearing Eric's story, after hearing my advice, how many of you are going to change your attitude towards what you're allowing to come inside your kitchen and what you're allowing yourself to put on your children's plates? How are we going to change that? And you might be doing a great job of it. So if that's the case, in the comments, please say I've been doing this all along and it's been great. All right? But guys, just remember, healthy and nutritious eating should be the default setting. That should be what our kids encounter at all times. And the ice cream and the sodas and the candies should be extra. It should not be the norm. All right? That's from me to you. Now, if you are someone like Eric and you have a situation for me, some details or something you want to put in the email, please do that. coachmark22@gmail.com. That's coachmark with a C, 22@gmail.com. All right? Now, also, if you are someone like Eric and your situation has gotten crazy, and you'd like some coaching on how to get through this, how to get through the transformation, how to still be a present father, how to help your kids through whatever phase that they're in right now, right? And you may just need a health coach, someone that has maybe had experience with helping other parents get through this, right? Click the link in my bio, schedule a free consultation. We'll get on the Zoom, we'll talk about it a little bit. We'll see if we're a good fit, all right? So this is Lunchtime Logic, guys. It has been amazing chilling with you guys for a little bit. I will see you tomorrow with a new topic, new letter, new advice. All right, let's get to it.